In this video, I'm going to show you how to get started with Loop Community Prime. This is an app we use on Sunday mornings for worship, and so I'm going to show you how to download it, get into it, and hopefully start getting familiar with it. The first thing we're going to need to do is go into the App Store, and we're just going to search for Loop Prime, and it's this Prime multi-track app right here. And so you're going to have to download that, and once that's downloaded, you can go ahead and open it up. And you'll just sign in with your username and the password that you've either registered for on Loop Community Prime or one of the general ones that I have given you access to. So we're just going to sign in with this Lakeside Band account that I've created. So when we log in, you're going to have to go up here to Set Lists, and you're going to click on that, and you're going to have to go to Shared with Me. Everything that I have shared with your account should show up here. Usually I name them by the date of the week that we're doing, but for this example, it says auditions. So then what you have to do is you have to come down here and actually click Load Set List. And what's going to happen is all the songs that are in this set list are going to show up right here in this pane here, and it's going to have this status bar. And if there's multiple songs, it's going to have to download each song before you can actually use it. So once those songs get downloaded, it's going to show you what key it's in. It's going to show you the BPM it's in. And so if you just click on that song, now you can see the arrangement of the song up here. The arrangement as far as the intro, the verses, choruses. This is the layout of the song. And above the arrangement, we have master, which is your master volume. And then the only other buttons you really need to know up here is play, which turns into pause, and stop. So down here, all of these red and blue sliders are all of the instruments and sounds associated with this particular track. The red sliders are always going to be your click track or your metronome and your cues. And the cues are the voice in our head that tell us when the intro is coming up, the verse, the chorus, those types of things. The M and the S underneath each slider is mute or solo. And so as you're playing through the track, you can, if you don't want to hear certain things, you can mute them, so then you can see they go away. You can also adjust the volume of each one. Grab it and you drag it up or down and it adjusts the volume of each slider. Or you can solo it. So if you hit solo, now that is the only sound that you're going to hear when you start the track. So if you want to listen out to like a specific part, whether you're playing electric or drums, and you want to see what they are playing on that part, then this is a really helpful thing to use. You can also solo multiple lines at the same time. So if you just want to hear like 2 or 3 different things isolated from the rest of the track, that's how you would do that. Just a word about the click track. It's probably going to default on yours when you pull it up. So if you click this gearbox right next to click, this click accent is probably going to be defaulted to on. Just turn that off. That adds an accent to the downbeat of each measure, but we don't use that. So for practice purposes, just turn that click accent off. So let's go ahead and start the track.
Intro,
just kind of see how some of these things work. So you can see, you can tell which sliders are actually playing noise by the green bar next to them.
3, 4.
I'm going to solo some of these so you can see how that isolates it from the rest of the mix. Drums, bass.
Verse,
you can turn the volume up and down on each one. So now acoustic is playing. If you want to take that down or move that up, or maybe just the click is too loud, you can move that down, move it up. Or you can manipulate any of these sliders however you want, and it won't affect what I have set up for Sunday. When you're using this for practice, feel free to use any of these sliders, mute them, solo them, move the volume up and down on any of them. You're free to do any of that, and it won't mess anything up for Sunday. As you're practicing through a song, This red bar up here tells you where you're at in the song. But if you want to stop and you want to hit a certain section over again, all you have to do is just touch your finger right before the section you want to practice or hear again, and it moves it wherever you want it to. So let's say I can't really pick up what part I'm supposed to play on the chorus. You move that cursor, that red cursor, a little bit before the chorus, and you push play, and it should count you into the chorus.
Chorus 2, 3, 4.
And now you're into it. And then you can pause it again, and you're like, oh, I want to hear it again. Or maybe you want to hear, what am I supposed to play before bridge 2? So you can put it a little bit before the bridge 2, push it again.
Bridge 2, 3, 4.
And then if you push stop, it moves it all the way back to the beginning. There will be times where I make some updates on my end, and I will tell the team to sync for the updates. What that means is you go to this sync button right here, and what you want to do is click on pull latest from cloud, and that will sync in the updates that I have made on my end so that you have the most up-to-date version. And once that finishes, then any changes I've made on my end, you'll be able to see after you click on it. So that might be an update to the arrangement or the order of the song. Maybe I've switched some things around up here. The last thing I wanted to show you is if you go to this settings gear bar up here in the top right, there's a couple things. It's going to default to some different sounds when you first pull it up, but this Q sound and this click sound, feel free to mess around with those if you want. For Sunday morning, we always use digital. Mess around with this if you want to. For the Q sound, this is just the voice that's in our heads. Feel free to mess around with this if you want, but we use Taylor on Sunday mornings. That's it. Hopefully that helps you get started with Prime and lets you use it. It's going to be a great practice tool for you if you utilize it when you're scheduled for Sundays.